Good morning, what's shaking, what's happening? Welcome back to Tasty Bites and Timeless Travels. Today we're coming at you from day 77 of our Holland America cruise around the world. And today, Durban, South Africa. Come join us. Now, Durban is another working cargo port. Not a cruise terminal, but it does actually have a building. So, that's nice. Now, thankfully, this pilot decided to come on board via a boat, unlike yesterday when it was a helicopter. Originally, they were going to helicopter on, but then they changed it to 4 in the morning, and they said, oh, we'll just do the boat, it's safer. So, thank goodness we were not awakened by a helicopter like we were yesterday. But we were awoken at 7 in the morning with the arrival notice, and you know, they've stressed safety in a few ports around the world, and they've stressed it specifically with Durban quite a bit, and we've heard rumors about Durban being dangerous. But when they woke us up at 7, well, they didn't wake us up, but when the announcement came at 7, it wasn't intention to wake people up, but the debarkation announcement, Kimberly again stressed safety. Do not put anything valuable in a bag that can be easily slashed or stolen from, things like that. So we thought we were going to go to the beach and the water park, but now we're like, oh, we got to put our stuff somewhere to go and enjoy things. So I think now we've just reared back our plans. We're going to put everything in the waterproof bag because it's a little bit more difficult to steal from that. And maybe do the aquarium SeaWorld thing, maybe just do the shopping thing. We are going to get off, though, because there is no water on the ship from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., so might as well at least get off and see what there is. But a lot of people debarked for 5-night trips with safaris and overlands and things like that. So Durban's one of those places, like, I understand why they stop here, but if it's so dangerous, there's like a coffee house across the street from the port. They don't even want you to walk there. So if it's that dangerous, though, at the same point in time, it's like, God, maybe you should have pulled these people off in Richards Bay. So we're going to go see, you know, one of the crew members is from Durban, and she's like, oh, it's perfectly fine. But she's local. That might be a big difference. So we'll just have to wait and see. But we're gonna go out. I'm still not going to take my nice camera. We're still going to film on the iPhone today, so it will probably be music montage quite a bit after this while we do our scenes of Durban. But there are some vendors at the port that are selling to go out to a game reserve that's near here. We discussed it, but once again, we live 10 minutes from Disney World, about 15 minutes from Animal Kingdom. The Imagineers came out to these areas of the world to design the safari, and what it would cost for us to go on that safari would pay for one Disney annual pass. So we said it cannot be that much different, especially since it's a half-day game reserve tourist safari. It's not one of the big ones that are out in, you know, the middle of nowhere. So I think we're just going to stick to uShaka World and the indoor activities there, the beach walk, the mall, the maybe the aquarium and this fake SeaWorld, but no water park, no beach, which is kind of a bummer. It's kind of a nice day out today, but, you know, there's a pool on board. But let's see. I don't know how long we're going to be out because we have not heard a good safety thing other than the person that's from here about Durban. And even the crew is reminding everyone today. We were eating breakfast and we ran into Vincent, who was our assistant server for like a week. And he said, please be careful. Please be very careful. Like, check in with me when you get back. So they are definitely worried for everyone's safety. So this should be interesting. But let's get it started. Right, back from our adventure at uShaka World in Durban. Thoughts. First off, there is no one on the streets of Durban. It's the uShaka World is 1 kilometer away from the cruise terminal. Now, the cruise terminal, which is the Nelson Mandela cruise terminal, I think he was captured somewhere around here because there is an excursion to see where they captured him. It's owned by MSC Cruises, I feel. It used to be called the MSC Cruise Terminal. But, like, big, beautiful building. It looks like they can embarkate cruises here, too, along with doing these stops here. Big, beautiful cruise building. Had some vendors outside. They weren't super pushy. They asked you if you wanted a taxi, if you were trying to go anywhere, and you would say no, and they'd say, okay, your shuttle's over there. So not super pushy, very, very nice people. Excuse me, this cold's starting to get to me. But and you can tell it's like a historic town, like it's old, and the buildings look like they've been upkept very, very well, but no one on the streets, and there's barbed wire everywhere, so I can understand this do not walk around without in this area. But what's crazy is uShaka World's 1 kilometer away, but it was uphill. But there was some crew that walked it. There wasn't a lot of passengers that walked it, but they really didn't want you to do that. So we just took the shuttle. I will tell you, they did wait on the buses to be full, but we didn't have to wait that long. But we sat there waiting for it to go longer than the ride actually took. But as far as uShaka World is concerned, we thought it was okay. It's like a little shopping area. It's very well done. It was very, very safe. So I think we were kind of a little overly cautious, though. I'm glad I didn't take the nice camera. But we took our waterproof bag because it would have been harder to cut into and pickpocket out of, because that's what we were told what could happen here, but not in that area. There's security everywhere and there's police everywhere. So maybe that area is obviously not a true visual of what they told us to expect out of Durban, but yeah, it was nice. There's several places to eat. The food in South Africa is incredibly reasonable, by the way. The restaurants, very, very cost friendly for us. So we ended up doing SeaWorld. I had wanted to do the water park, and we had talked about doing the beach. Now, I'm glad we didn't do the beach. We walked out to the beach first because it was the furthest point away, obviously. It looks nice from a distance, but when you kind of got up to it, it was kind of dirty. It wasn't really rocky, but it reminded me of Atlantic beaches where there's a lot of shells and kind of ocean debris, and there was some trash floating in the water. There was nowhere to sit. You would have to sit on the sand, we're old. We don't want to sit in the sand. And there were some vendors, and there were some people doing some amazing sandcastles, but I started to video them, and then one of them started to talk to me, and I didn't know what he was trying to tell me, so I just stopped and we walked away. But that was the beach area. Glad we didn't do that. But tons of people there, families, this, that, and the other. There was a surfing competition going on, so that was kind of cool. Then we went to their version of SeaWorld, and it's funny because their parks are called SeaWorld and Wet n Wild, though I don't know if they're actually sanctioned by SeaWorld or Wet n Wild. I don't think they are. I think they just happen to have the name. SeaWorld, so it cost us $22 total for the two of us to get in, so it's right on par with kind of what we paid for in Langquao to go into that aquarium. So we go into SeaWorld. The Wet n Wild is kind of mixed in, so you can see the lazy river kind of go around. We only really did the aquarium. There's not a whole lot to do in that SeaWorld. There's the aquarium, which was phenomenal. It was very much more touristy, where I think Langquao, it was more educational, but their tanks were big. They had really big sea animals in there, and it was abundant, so it was nice. There was restroom facilities that were clean and nice. The staff was incredibly friendly. And then the dolphin show was happening, so they're making all these announcements. The dolphin show is about to start, and they're rounding people up to put in the dolphin show. Now, the stadium, it was one of those old school stadiums where there's no backs, and it's just long ledge up, that sort of thing. So it wasn't very comfy. So we didn't stay for the dolphin show, but it sounded like it was a blast. But where we didn't go to the dolphin show, the rest of the park was deserted. Because we ended up going back into the aquarium area to use the restroom one last time before we left, and there was no one in there. So that was kind of creepy. But other than that, putting it on par with an aquarium visit, it was very nice. And we could have gone to the dolphin show. We could have gone to the sea lion show. But we just opted not to. It was getting kind of hot. We were getting kind of hungry. So then we went back to the shopping area. We had a local restaurant called Wimpy's. Really good, friendly service again. I was having trouble logging into the Wi-Fi. They got me in. Super nice. Their allergy menu is really good, by the way. And did some shopping. Our entire day, including the souvenirs we bought, we might have spent $65, I think. So not bad at all, seeing as how we went to a theme park aquarium, whose theming was phenomenal, had lunch, and did shopping in a very touristy area. Plus, there was like a little cultural show with some drummers and dancers. So really neat. So yes, it was a very touristy day in Durban, but it was still a very nice day in Durban. Nonetheless. Now, if we were to ever find ourselves in this area of the world again, maybe we would pay to go out to the nature reserve that has the animals and stuff like that. But like I said, and we saw video and pictures of where some people went yesterday, and it's very similar to what Animal Kingdom looks like. And yes, I know how terrible that sounds, but I think when you go to Animal Kingdom, as much as we've had the opportunity to go, you're just like, oh yeah, that looks exactly the same. So, and I know it's not the same, but it just, I don't know, in the scheme of 124 days and making decisions of Great Barrier Reef, Easter Island, the Colosseum of Rome, Pompeii, and all this other stuff, I don't know. It wasn't in the cards for us for this trip, so we'll have to see. I don't think the travels will ever take us to Africa again. I don't know, but Durban, uShaka World, we kind of dug it. It was kind of fun, so. Oh, that is a party boat going by us. But good time, so let's enjoy the rest of the afternoon, and we might go to coloring, we might not. Otherwise, we'll catch you at dinner. All right, appetizers have arrived, and C is starting with the tomato crostini, looking good. This is something new on the menu. I am starting with the chorizo cheese dip thing. This was a lot of new stuff on the menu tonight, so this is looking good. All right, we were feeling more than one appetizer tonight, and we both got the same appetizer for the second one, which is the shrimp soba noodle salad. Looking good. C said hers is prettier than mine, but I don't know. Yes, I know they're the same, but I still think mine's beautiful. All right, entrees have arrived. C got the beef tenderloin, and she's got zucchini instead of green beans. How fun. No more green beans for her at the moment. Yay. Me, I went with the wild mushroom quesadilla. They used to have quesadillas on the room service menu, and they haven't had them, and this looks good. So I like a good quesadilla. All right, and finishing off with something sweet, C has got the strawberry sorbet. And for me, I've got a brownie peanut sundae. We were both just feeling ice cream tonight. And with that, we are going to call it a night. Not a very exciting night for us, actually. Like I said, Durban was way better than we thought it was going to be. But then again, they kind of put the fear of God in everyone. I will tell you, the shore excursions, after they really started telling some stories, they filled up quick. I think everything for Durban was sold out. But we were good with the uShaka World. Kind of touristy, but, hey, we're theme park people that live in Orlando. It's touristy. You live with it. That's how it works. So, but dinner was good. I ordered way too much food, but it was delicious nonetheless. The quesadilla was pretty good. The shrimp was good. The cheese dip was good. She enjoyed her food. It was really good. There's just nothing happening tonight. We are in this port till we leave at 10:30, and we are definitely leaving at 10:30 because they said in the announcement this morning that the port gates will be locked at 10. So after 10 o'clock, no one will be able to get into the port because that's when they are going home. So we're definitely leaving at 10:30. And then we will have a couple of sea days before we get to Cape Town. So, thoughts on Durban, not as bad as they made it out to be. But then again, we didn't really do anything. We haven't even really talked to anyone who went and did anything different. Like I said, the majority of passengers, I think, were getting off for overlands. We've seen some pictures from the game reserve in the area. Looked nice, but haven't talked to anyone that actually did it. So I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, if my travels ever brought me back to Durban, maybe I'd pay to go out there, or maybe I'd stay on the ship, or I don't know. Maybe I'd go back to uShaka World. Who knows? But the beach wasn't our fave though. But the aquarium was really cool. And they also, I forgot to mention this, they must have really big tanks because they had some of the biggest stingrays I have ever seen. Plus, they had really big sharks. So, definitely big tanks at this aquarium, fake SeaWorld kind of deal. But, good night nonetheless. So, we're going to call it a night. Make sure you hit that notification bell, like, subscribe, all that fun social stuff to keep following us along. Excuse me. As we continue to make our way around the world. And at some point, actually, the next couple days, we're going to cross back into the Atlantic Ocean, go around the Cape of Good Hope, so it should be exciting. So have a great night. Bye!